Are these ratios proportional? That's what we asked ourselves in the last video. If the ratios are proportional, we know that that means they're equal to each other. Proportion is two equal ratios, or two fractions that are equal. The first method that we learned to check if ratios were proportional to each other is by turning them both into unit rates. If they have the same unit rate, then we know they're equal. We're going to have a second day of practice on that very same skill. So let's take a look at our first example. Let's not waste any time. We have the first ratio, 5/3. The second ratio, 20/12. And we need to decide if they are equal to each other, if they are proportional to each other. So I'm going to make them both into unit rates. So if I take the 5/3 and the 20/12, and I want to make them into unit rates, that means I'm trying to give them a denominator of 1. So to turn the first ratio into a unit rate, I'm going to divide by 3/3, and I'll get 1.6 repeating for my numerator and 1 for my denominator. Then for the next one, I'm going to divide by 12/12, and again, I'll also get 1.6 with a bar notation to mean repeating. If you notice here, when I was deciding what to divide by, I used whatever the denominator was. Since I'm trying to get a unit rate, I need to divide the denominator by itself, because that is how you make 1. So if we look at the unit rates here, I have 1.6 with a bar notation. These are the same unit rate. So are they proportional? Yes, they are proportional. Let's take a look at problem number 2. The first ratio is 5/4. Remember, by the way, a ratio is a comparison of two or more quantities. That's why you'll commonly see it written as a fraction, because a fraction has two parts, a numerator and a denominator. 4/5, 28/40. So I'm going to turn them both into unit rates. I'm going to divide 4/5 by, you guessed it, 5/5. That will give me 0.8 to 1. And then the next ratio is 28/40. I'm going to divide by 40/40. And I'm going to pause and get a calculator to do 28 divided by 40. 0.7/1. These are different unit rates. So are the ratios proportional? I'm going to draw a line that says no. They are not proportional. They are not equal ratios. 2/3 equals 10/16. Going to make them both into unit rates by dividing by 3/3 and 16/16. My denominators will now equal 1. I'm going to use a calculator to do 2 divided by 3 and 10 divided by 16. You would get 0.6 repeating, so you'll use the bar notation for the first one, and you'll get 0.625 for the second one. Different unit rates. So the answer is no, and I'm going to draw another line through. Let's take a look at 2 more. 6/8 equals 24/32. Divide by 8/8. Divide by 32/32. For this one, you're going to get 0.75/1. And for this one, you're also going to get 0.75/1. Since my unit rates are the same, we know that these two ratios are, yes, proportional. One more example. Last one. Now, I hope that Everyone is feeling great about turning these into unit rates. What I'd like you to do today is challenge yourself just a little bit before you turn this into a unit rate. Are they proportional? Just look at the numbers for a second and use your number sense skills. What do you think? Well, something that jumps out to me, and this is going to lead us into method 2 and method 3, is that this denominator got 7 times bigger, but this numerator did not get 7 times bigger. So already I'm thinking no, but let's test it using our method that we know works every time. So 1 over 10 divided by 10 over 10 will give me 0.1 over 1. And then let's check 6 divided by 70. We're going to divide by 70 over 70. Plug that into the calculator real quick. And we get approximately 0.09. These have different unit rates. So we know that they are not equal. So I'm going to change the equal sign to a not equal sign, and I'm going to write no. For the rest of the problems, try and ask yourself, are they proportional before you figure out the unit rates? See if you're able to spot some similarities and differences with the ratios so that you might have an idea about what method 2 is before we even teach it. All right, so good luck with today's assignment. You are checking, are two ratios proportional using the unit rate method? Turn them both into unit rates with a denominator of 1 and compare the numerators. If they have the same numerator, then they are proportional. Good luck, everybody.